An example, a banking application, Barclays Bank, might have 2 million customers. On a Friday night, everyone is probably signing into their app to make a transfer or complete a payment, right? Or let's use end of the month when people get paid. People are trying to pay off bills at the end of the month. You would imagine with me that the traffic at that point would be, if Barclays has 2 million users, at least a third of that would be trying to make payments if they all get paid on the last day of the month, right? And that's what I talk about when I talk about traffic. Loads of people using the same service at the same time. And we'll talk about the scaling of those systems to accommodate those users. The most important thing here to understand is that when this traffic comes, this API gateway filters this traffic. First of all, it does something called authentication and authorization for all of these different requests. That authentication and authorization is two things. One, I want to authenticate that that user is actually who they say they are. Once I validate that they are who they say they are, I can only authorize them for a service that they've been authorized to use. Whether that authorization is identity authorization, whether that authorization is identity validation, whatever the authorization that is configurable by the bank, right, as they've created as their KYC or whatever, at whatever level, that authorization must be validated. Now, once those two are validated, once you're authenticated and authorized, then you are allowed to use that service. When you log into your banking application, an authentication happens that you are actually who you say you are using your user ID and passcode. That authentication happens. You can't even use your Face ID these days, but it's still the same format. And we'll talk about that when we talk about API security, how this works behind the scenes. Another important point is once that is done, you have a plethora of services. Whatever service you pick, you are now authorized. Whenever you try to use that service, an authorization schema is going on behind the scenes. Once you have been authorized, that's fine. For you to complete that payment or for you to complete that the